أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين إنه خير ناصر ومعين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا وطبيب قلوبنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبا القاسم مصطفى محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وصلى الله على آل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين سيما بقية الله في الأرضين روحنا وجسمنا فداك يا مولانا يا صاحب العصر والزمان اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد أما بعد فقد قال الله في كتابه المجيد والفرقانه الحميد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضعة مرضية صدق الله العلي العظيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد معلم إمران السلام عليكم
السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Alhamdulillah.
Second night of month of Muharram.
Absolutely.
We had a nice conversation yesterday on the importance of majlis of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And today I'm equally excited about the conversation that we're going to have today because it's about how we can improve and make the most of the majlis of Imam Hussain sitting from our own homes.
Yes.
Because as we know, this time is different, right?
It's very, very different. And I heard that so many of you from that first night, after that you had listened, you'd actually gone for chai. I heard that some mothers are allowing some children to have chai. Maybe during Muharram it is allowed.
It's fine. In the name of Imam Hussain, it should be fine, no?
Alhamdulillah. A few zips here and there is okay, inshallah. This is halal, nice entertainment, especially if you speak about a majlis, you know. It's an amazing thing. What the lessons I learned from yesterday about who is attending in the majlis, that was so nice. And about being prepared for the majlis. What do we have in stock today?
Yeah, so today I just wanted to, I was still thinking about that, the fact that Bibi Fatima alayhi salam comes to the majlis, and the fact now majlises are being held at home. And you know when you have a guest coming at home, how much preparation you make, making sure that everything is clean. Mom and dad say, make sure your room is tidy, that food is prepared, make sure the guests are welcome. Now we know for sure.
I have a secret. I'm very bad at this. I always ask for help, you know.
Do you?
Yeah, like I know next time, like today we have to do this majlis. I couldn't have done it alone. I know you helped out, and a secret friend also helped out, big time. So just wanted to say that.
So as in now we know that we're having majalis at home, and we know for sure Bibi Fatima is coming to us. So firstly, the fact that such an amazing person is coming to our house. And the second thing is that we need to make it well prepared for her, right? So we need to make sure that everything is clean, the house is smelling nice, we're welcoming each other. The ambience at home should be really nice, right? So we're good with each other, our parents, listening to our parents, looking after our siblings, making sure we're not fighting with them. So I think that is important to have that nice experience for Bibi Fatima to come in. The second thing that I wanted to share is that we could implement at home is when we were young, growing up in Mombasa, whenever month of Muharram would come, we would be very excited for it because that meant we would be able to make alams and be able to make the lash at home. And I remember an interesting thing. My grandfather, his shop used to be at the bottom of the house, and he used to have a clothes shop. And so you know when you have materials, they're spiraled around a cardboard spiral. So we'd go asking if they're empty cardboard spirals, and then we'd go from the store and get a couple, and then we use that to create the alam. That together with a wooden stick. So that was really nice. So our mom would make sure that she stitched nice cloth for the alam, and then we would have the panja, whoever's coming from India, from abroad, that would make them to come.
Does everyone know what a panja is? How can we remember what a panja is, yeah?
Panja is that hand that sits on top of the alam.
Nice, nice.
So yeah, we would get that. All the cousins would come together. We would prepare it, and then the special thing. I guess I don't know if you can equate that, but like the special part about a Christmas tree is everyone putting the star on the top, right?
Yeah.
So this would be the special part of the alam. And it would really bring all of us, cousins and brothers and sisters, together to be able to do this. And then what we'd do is we'd get a chair, wrap it with black cloth, and then tie the alam to the chair. And then one of us would take a book or whatever we know about the stories of Imam Hussain. We'd sit, all the cousins and brothers and sisters would sit down, and then we'd share that story. And I still remember it to that day. And I think one of the reasons why we remember is because of all that experience and that joy we shared in terms of together making the alam and together doing the majlis.
Absolutely. When I hear you speaking about this so passionately, number one, you speak about your grandfather. May Allah give him a special place, inshallah. But in that shop where the preparation happened, your mother sewing it, you all coming together, and then you competing about maybe who is going to sit on the chair. I think that there's a lot of things which we can learn from this, yeah? Because it's like in getting in there, coming all together, amazing point.
And having that atmosphere at home, right? So it's not just we're sitting because we can't go to the mosque, so we're just sitting at home. It's bringing the mosque to home.
Ahsan.
So that was one thing. The second thing that we actually used to do was we used to listen a lot to nohas and matams.
Yes.
And because we were young, not too much majlis. The matam and noha and Marsiya, because our uncle actually was part of a group that used to recite, so they would come and practice at home. So from young age we were listening to a lot of nohas and marshas.
So an anjuman, yeah?
Yes, exactly.
Very nice.
Exactly.
I know there are many so-called anjumans, and especially matamdar here as well.
Yes.
Excellent.
Have you heard some of the boys recite?
Oh yes. I mean, we should maybe not many. I know so many of them, but I will say anyway. I have I'm a fan of many of these boys. I'm a fan of this. For example, when I hear that JAVADALI Muraj, Ali Raza Damani, when I hear also, for example, also my dear brother Hussain here as well, all of you gathering around the alam, reciting, doing that matam, I wonder if I could become a fan of yours. In fact, I am a fan.
Yeah, you hear their voice. Their voices are so beautiful. Even when you're not in the lecture and you're standing outside, you can hear the recitation. It's very, and you just take a moment to pause and say, and remind yourself, how old are these boys?
Yes.
And how much passion they have for Imam Hussain that they recite. Yeah. So don't forget that recitation not just for the mosque, it's for at home as well. If it's going to help you create that relationship with Imam Hussain alayhi salam, then why not?
Absolutely.
And at this point I wanted to just share a few things. So everyone reacts differently, right? Or learns differently. So some of us, if you're like me, I learn better while listening, or I have that experience better while listening. So that's why I love listening to nohas, love listening to marshas, love listening to Quran. And then also I learn a lot while listening to majalis. But if listening is not your thing and watching is your thing, then there's so many things out there that we can learn from while watching, right? And also another way of learning is by action as well. So sometimes I feel that, okay, maybe to listen is one thing, but then to implement what we learn is by acting or by talking about it. So as we see that straight after the majlis, the first point of action is doing the matam. So when we're doing matam, we're expressing our grief and expressing our love for Imam Hussain alayhi salam. But one thing that I want to share with everyone is that matam is only the first step of action. That is the only first step. The next step is actually then thinking about what we've learned in the majlis and actually implementing it.
Very
And
good.
then that's how we can become a Hussaini. And that is the main form of action. So Matam is just there to inspire us and to make us take that first step, and then we have to take the following
That's
step.
such a beautiful thing. You know, many a times when you say these things, I'm wondering what a miracle Imam Hussain alayhi salam is. That he made the grandparent do this, and the family does this, the parents are then doing, the children are following, and you get all together into a big community
Very true.
like ours,
Yeah.
where we encourage each other.
It's amazing if you think about it. Yeah?
Absolutely. I read from one, you know that I love these kind of ulama books and stuff, yeah. So I just wanted to share, you know, because I thought with this topic, why is it worth it and how special Imam Hussain alayhi salam is. So there is a great alim, his name is Sheikh Jafar Shushtari, okay. You can Google him up here. He wrote a book, and I have not seen it in
Wait,
English.
should I Google him? No, actually, I forgot. No phones during majlis.
Ahsan, very
I'll
good
put
point.
it away.
No, you see how you mind? That's an excellent point.
No phones during majlis.
Anyone who had their phones up, now the habit should be down, unless it's to take points, yeah? But then, no receiving, no phone calls, only take points.
No
yeah?
games.
No games, games can be very addictive. Sheikh Shushtari, again, do you remember him? Yeah, that was the man who wrote a book specifically about the characteristics of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So he wrote that what are the characteristics about Imam Hussain which no one else has. And I wanted to share a few points. Like, I'll give you one example. Is it allowed to eat soil?
Soil?
No. There's no protein, there's nothing in that. So in fact, it's not allowed to eat soil. If you go to Makkah, Medina, you go to Najaf, you can't eat the soil even if it's inside the mosque or the haram. But you know what? When it comes to Imam Hussain, inside his haram and the soil, it's thawab. It's called khake
Shifa.
shifa. Not only that, it also then is a cure for us. And I was wondering, we know about khake shifa, but only it's because Imam Hussain alayhi salam is there in Karbala,
Yeah.
because of him and the sacrifice. Another one, if I may ask, Malim, when we have the majlis of Imam Hussain, we and all the other imams, we remember on the day of the shahadat of that imam, yeah?
Yes.
And the day of the shahadat of Imam Hussain is called
Ashura.
Ashura. So 10th of Muharram. But do we also have the majlis on the 11th?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, it's called ziyarat or soyam. Yeah. The point here is, we don't do that for any other imam.
It's true.
Not only that, Imam Hussein's majlis starts 10 days before. We have on the 11th, we have on the 10th after Ashura, 20th, 30th, 40th. No one else. So that's another special thing.
True.
Another thing which is very, very special, have you ever heard that Allah has created angels just going up and down on top of his haram and tomb? I've never heard that. Special, very special. And on top of that, it never ends. I've got so many points.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah.
Can we imagine that the majlis which we have prepared today, in fact, if you go to Imam Hussain and ask for help, he's the one who can answer much faster than anyone else. It's an amazing example, yeah? What a characteristic. People ask, is it worth it? Every example, I hope, is worth it, yeah?
For sure. For sure.
So those are the few points I just wanted to share, but because it's special majlis, can I give one more?
Go for it. Bismillah. I'm looking for it.
Okay. Do you know that during the 12 months, the Islamic 12 months, there is a wafat or a shahadat in every month, except for one. Can anyone guess? Anyone guess? No, it's not Rajab. No. No, Safar has got lots of. What do you think? Can you come up or give me a guess, or you pick someone in the audience?
I think Jabir would be able to help us out here.
I think so as well. Jabi, what do you say? You were jumping all the time. Sha'ban, that's absolutely right. And do you know why there is no shahadat in Sha'ban? What do we think? They're too good, eh? They're just shouting. Because Imam Hussain alayhi salam's birthday is there. Then I'm going to ask the sibling question, the next one. Is there a month where there are no kushalis and no wiladat? Is there a month? Yeah. Muharram. And why again? Because Imam Hussain is there. So Imam Hussain alayhi salam is almost like he creates the universe, how Allah has created the universe for him. It's an absolute amazing thing. So the majlis here is very, very special. Now, with that, you said something, such a special thing about preparing and reciting and poetry. And I would like to share a very sad story, if it's okay, and inspirational at the same time. For that, is like always, during Gham, let's make ourselves sad. We don't look at each other. And if you can cry, try to cry. Let us go to the city of Mashhad in Khurasan. There our eighth holy Imam Rida alayhi salam is sitting. One day the Aba al-Khudai goes in and he sees the Imam. But Imam is not sitting in a normal way. He's sitting down and he's crying. And he says, when I saw him, I asked him, and he says, Marhaban ya Da'bal, come here. You are the one who helps both with your tongue as well as with your hand. He knew that I was a poet of Ahl al-Bayt alayhi salam. He says, this is Muharram. This is the time when we cry and where the enemies, the Banu Umayyah, are celebrating. These are the times where we cry for my grandfather, Imam al-Hussain. I say, Ya Da'bal, can you recite a Marsiya for us? Can you do something which will honor my grandmother and Imam Hussain? And Da'bal says, yes. I stood up there and I said, أفاطمة لو فلت الحسين مجادلا وقد مات أتشان في شط الفرات. Oh Fatima, if you only saw Hussein, if you saw him fighting and then he died thirsty on the land of Karbala near the river of Furat, oh Fatima, you would have beaten your cheeks. But you were next to him and the stars and the skies by the land of Karbala, Nainawa. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأجل فرجهم. حسين الغريب الغريب الحسين حسين الشهيد الشهيد الحسين. Salams on the head of my Mawla Hussain. Salams on the lips of my blessed Hussain. For days in the desert your body remained. With thousands of arrows your shroud they became. And on Arba'in where the millions will pray, the grief and the mourning for you, Ya Hussain. Hussain al-Gharib al-Gharib al-Hussain. Hussain al-Shaheed al-Shaheed al-Hussain. The screams of the children thirsty for water, the duty was sent to Abbas, our Savior. The Lion of God could be seen riding faster to reach Al-Furat and to place his Sakina. But the flag of Islam laying bare on the sand. Hussain al-Gharib, al-Gharib, al-Hussain. Hussain al-Shaheed, al-Shaheed, al-Hussain. The lady was seen peering out from the tent, the cry from the heavens that Zahra presents. Oh shimmer, why on his chest the sword stained in blood with Hussein's final tears? Hussein, to your mother it's time to ascend. Your trials in Karbala have come to an end. Hussain al-Gharib, al-Gharib, al-Hussain. Hussain al-Shaheed, al-Shaheed, al-Hussain. Sakina would cry every night for her father, but Zainab would cradle Hussein's little daughter. But when they presented his head on a platter, Sakina could not bear to live any longer. But no one could comfort or soothe your Sakina. She died in the prison with Zainab beside her. Hussain al-Gharib, al-Gharib, al-Hussain. Hussain al-Shaheed, al-Shaheed, al-Hussain. The fire, the burning, the tents up in flames. Oh Zainab, protect Imam Ali bin Hussain. The soldiers of Yazid want to beat us with chains. The women and children are crying in vain. Oh Baba Ali, please come back and defend us. Your children are waiting for you to return. Hussain al-Gharib, al-Gharib, al-Hussain. Hussain al-Shaheed, al-Shaheed, al-Hussain. Hussain al-Gharib, al-Gharib, al-Hussain. Hussain al-Shaheed, al-Shaheed, al-Hussain. Salawat.
اللهم
صل على محمد وآل محمد.
وعجل فرجهم.